The American Civil War witnessed many brutal battles, each leaving a significant mark on history, but few were as large or as significant as the Battle of Brandy Station, a clash that would redefine cavalry warfare. Fought on June 9, 1863, near Brandy Station, Virginia, it was the largest cavalry battle ever fought in North America, involving nearly 20,000 soldiers. Thousands of horsemen clashed in a whirlwind of flashing sabers and thundering hooves, creating a chaotic and deadly scene. Before Brandy Station, cavalry in the Civil War mostly served as scouts and skirmishers, gathering intelligence and engaging in minor skirmishes. They were the eyes and ears of the armies, not the primary fighting force. Brandy Station changed that perception dramatically. It proved that cavalry could stand and fight, delivering decisive blows and holding their ground against formidable opposition. The battle also marked a turning point in the war, showcasing the evolving tactics and strategies of both sides. The Confederacy had long held the upper hand in cavalry operations, boasting experienced and skilled horsemen. But at Brandy Station, the Union cavalry proved they could match their Southern counterparts in both skill and bravery. This newfound confidence would have a lasting impact on the war, boosting the morale of Union forces. It set the stage for future Union victories and helped turn the tide of the conflict, leading to the eventual triumph of the North. The rolling hills and open fields of Culpeper County, Virginia, provided a picturesque backdrop for the clash of arms. These serene landscapes would soon be transformed into a theater of war, echoing with the sounds of battle and the cries of soldiers. Brandy Station, a strategic crossroads, became the focal point of this struggle. Its location was crucial, serving as a gateway to the north and a vital supply route for the armies. The Confederacy, led by the formidable General Robert E. Lee, was on the move. Lee's leadership and tactical brilliance had already earned him a reputation as one of the most skilled commanders of the Civil War. After their stunning victory at Chancellorsville in May 1863, Lee's Army of Northern Virginia was poised to invade the North. This victory had bolstered their confidence and morale, setting the stage for an ambitious campaign. Their objective, Pennsylvania, and a decisive victory that could end the war. Lee believed that a successful invasion of the North would force the Union to negotiate peace, thus securing independence for the Confederacy. Meanwhile, the Union Army of the Potomac, under the command of General Joseph Hooker, shadowed Lee's movements. Hooker was determined to thwart Lee's plans and protect the Union. Hooker's cavalry, led by the ambitious General Alfred Pleasonton, was tasked with locating and harassing the Confederate forces. Pleasonton's cavalry played a crucial role in gathering intelligence and disrupting enemy operations. Tension hung heavy in the air as both sides prepared for battle. Soldiers on both sides knew that the upcoming clash could be a turning point in the war. The fate of the nation seemed to hang in the balance. The outcome of this confrontation would shape the future of the United States, determining whether it would remain united or be forever divided. On the Confederate side, the cavalry was commanded by the legendary Jeb Stuart, a man whose name became synonymous with daring and audacity. Known for his flamboyant style and daring raids, Stuart was a hero of the Confederacy. His exploits were the stuff of legend, often riding circles around Union forces and gathering crucial intelligence. His men were considered the best horsemen in the world, trained to perfection and fiercely loyal to their charismatic leader. Facing Stuart was the Union cavalry commander, Alfred Pleasonton, a man with a different but equally important mission. Less experienced than his opponent, Pleasonton was determined to prove his mettle. He was tasked with transforming the Union cavalry into a formidable force capable of challenging Stuart's dominance. He had a point to prove that the Union cavalry could stand toe-to-toe with Stuart's men. Pleasonton worked tirelessly to instill discipline and confidence in his troops. Among Pleasonton's subordinates were two future legends, John Buford and George Armstrong Custer, both of whom would leave an indelible mark on the history of the Civil War. Buford, a steady and reliable officer, commanded the 1st Division. His strategic mind and calm demeanor made him a respected leader among his peers. Custer, known for his long, flowing hair and aggressive tactics, led the Michigan Brigade. His boldness and willingness to take risks often put him in the spotlight. The stage was set for a clash of titans, both sides prepared for a confrontation that would test their skills and resolve. These leaders would shape the course of the battle with their courage, skill, and determination. Their decisions and actions would echo through history, defining the legacy of the cavalry in the Civil War. The battle began at dawn with a surprise attack by the Union cavalry. Pleasonton had divided his forces into 3 columns, hoping to catch Stuart's men off guard. The Confederates, however, were not easily caught napping. They quickly rallied and mounted a fierce defense. What followed was a chaotic melee of mounted charges and countercharges. Sabers clashed, pistols fired, and horses screamed as both sides fought with desperate courage. The battle raged for hours, surging back and forth across the fields and hills. Stuart, a master of cavalry tactics, employed his horsemen with skill. He launched lightning-fast raids, attempting to outflank and overwhelm the Union lines. His men fought with the ferocity of cornered wolves, determined to drive back the Union assault. Section 5. The tide of battle turns. Despite the Confederates' early successes, the tide began to turn as the day wore on. The Union cavalry, bolstered by superior numbers, slowly pushed back their opponents. One of the key turning points came at Fleetwood Hill, where a desperate struggle for control ensued. At Fleetwood Hill, Buford's men fought with unwavering tenacity. They repulsed repeated Confederate assaults, holding the high ground against overwhelming odds. Custer, always eager for a fight, led his Michigan troopers in a series of daring charges, breaking through Confederate lines and throwing them into disarray. As the sun began to set, the Confederates, exhausted and outnumbered, began to withdraw. They had fought bravely, but the Union cavalry had earned a hard-fought victory. Section 6. Aftermath and immediate impact. The Battle of Brandy Station ended with heavy casualties on both sides. The Union suffered over 900 casualties, while the Confederates lost over 500 men. Though the victory belonged to the Union, it was a Pyrrhic one. Both sides had fought to a standstill. However, the battle had a profound psychological impact. For the first time in the war, the Union cavalry had proven themselves the equal of their Confederate counterparts. This newfound confidence would have far-reaching consequences. For Stuart, the battle was a wake-up call. His reputation for invincibility was tarnished. He had been surprised and nearly defeated on his own soil. The battle exposed weaknesses in his defenses and forced him to rethink his tactics. Section 7. Brandy Station's enduring significance. The Battle of Brandy Station, though often overshadowed by larger battles like Gettysburg and Vicksburg, holds a significant place in Civil War history. It marked a turning point in the Cavalry War, establishing the Union cavalry as a force to be reckoned with. The battle also had a direct impact on the Gettysburg campaign. Shaken by his near defeat at Brandy Station, Stuart would be more cautious in his movements. His absence during the Confederate advance into Pennsylvania would have serious consequences for Lee at Gettysburg. More importantly, Brandy Station shattered the myth of Confederate cavalry superiority. It proved that the Union cavalry could stand and fight, delivering decisive blows. This newfound confidence would have a lasting impact, contributing to the eventual Union victory. Section 8. The Evolution of Cavalry. The Battle of Brandy Station also marked a turning point in the evolution of cavalry tactics. The traditional cavalry charges, while still a part of the battle, became less decisive. The increasing use of firearms, particularly repeating carbines, gave the cavalry new firepower. Cavalrymen, once reliant on sabers and pistols, became mounted infantry, using their speed and mobility to outmaneuver and outgun their opponents. This evolution in tactics would continue throughout the war and beyond. Brandy Station forced both sides to adapt to the changing nature of warfare. The days of the cavalry as solely a scouting and raiding force were over. They had become a crucial component of the armies, capable of fighting and winning battles.